partigiani non sono, come molti credono, una invenzione italiana della Seconda Guerra Mondiale. Si presentarono nel 1740 nella guerra in Slesia. Questo video vi porterò documentazioni anche desecretate, per esempio della CIA, testimonianze vere di personaggi che hanno vissuto in quel periodo e altro ancora. I partigiani non sono riconosciuti a livello di esercito, ma bensì sono entità che si creano per combattere l'invasore. Non hanno segni di riconoscimento, non sono quindi equiparabili agli eserciti regolari e quindi vengono trattati come terroristi. Bene, chi avrà la pazienza di guardare questo video si renderà conto che non sto raccontando fesserie. Buona visione.
But we did eventually track down the boy called Ivan, now of course an old man, who was in Fedio's son, and he told us that in fact when the two partisans in their German uniforms came to the farm and discovered my mother, they were actually spotted. And an informer went back to the town, the main town, and said, "Have you got two German soldiers that you sent on patrol up on Shimonka on the mountain?" And of course the German officer said no. So they said, "Right, we'll send a patrol out, and we'll catch them." And of course this patrol, had it gone to the right place, would have found them and would have found and everybody would have been killed. But they had to get a guide to take them there. And the guide that they got to take them there was obviously a poor man, but he was a man that Fedio had been kind to. Okay? I'm not sure this is true exactly, but he'd given him some sausages or something. I think it was sausages that he'd given him as an act of kindness. Whether it was from one of these animals that he'd killed illegally or not, that I don't know. But because of that one act of kindness, instead of taking the German patrol to Fedio's farm, he took them to a nearby village where he knew there were some communist partisans. They were different. There were Jewish partisans, green partisans, Ukrainian nationalists, red partisans, communist partisans. Anyway, he knew that there were some red partisans in this nearby village, and he took the Germans there. The Germans had their fight, so they were happy. And that is the only reason that I'm sitting here today. So it was, every day you had to roll a 6 with the dice, if you like. Every day you had to be incredibly lucky. And if you were incredibly lucky, every day for 3 years, you could come through.
What would happen if you captured any Germans? Did you actually ever capture any and interrogate them, or no?
We captured some of them, but there was no interrogation. They just finished them up on the spot, took the guns, took the shoes, took off the clothes, and back to the camp. As far as we are concerned, we never ask any questions. As long as he was in German German uniform, that was the end of him.
And you would just shoot. Did
Yes.
you yourself ever?
Uh,
I know this is difficult.
Look, we were shooting one man. All of us were shooting. In other words, if you had 4 or 5 or 6 people, everybody used their gun. No questions asked.
So that never one person could.
No. You couldn't say, I did it or he did it. Most of the time, we were so outraged that we didn't care. And that German, I mean, maybe he was just a regular German or a soldier, but we did not care. As long as we saw the uniform with the Nazi marking, that was the end of him.
And then did someone take, did you rip off the epaulets and use the coat? So that,
The coats we were using, we taking off, yes. The coats, the shoes, because it was very short on shoes. But also we had a problem with using German shoes because all of us were almost half barefoot. When you were using the military shoes, you're making too much noise. So the shoes, we used to live in the camp. But the uniforms, yes, we used to use them. Maybe 2 hours later, Russian tanks came over. They didn't know that we are partisans. They figured they start shooting at us. There was no communication. But then one had opened the door or something on the side or whatever it is. He said to me, hey, Tovarish, comrade. And they realized that we are partisans. And at that time, the tanks went forward. All the partisans stopped going forward. We just let the regular army take care. And we all got in back to the city. Suddenly, we saw thousands of people with machine guns, with pistols, rifles, all kinds of uniforms, German uniforms, local police uniforms. We all got together. We started marching into the city.
Горящие избы символизируют путь отступления Красной Армии. Дабы затруднить дальнейшее продвижение германских войск, Сталин приказал уничтожить все населенные пункты вдоль путей продвижения немцев и полностью стереть с лица земли существующую инфраструктуру. Эти действия проводились по прямому приказу Сталина советскими карательными отрядами НКВД, переодетыми в трофейную немецкую форму. Этим спецподразделениям было приказано оставлять гражданских лиц в живых, чтобы они потом рассказывали о зверствах немцев. Тактика, которая должна была усилить ненависть населения к солдатам вермахта. Такие идеи пришли в голову Сталина не случайно, ибо во многих населенных пунктах гражданское население искренне приветствовало немецких солдат как освободителей.